badly damaged Republic cruiser, Ayla Secla was watching as the separatist destroyers did more and more damage to her ship. "Our shields are gone," yelled one of the clones that were looking at the monitors. The Jedi Knight watched helplessly as the battle raged outside her ship. "Hurry, Skywalker," she spoke, a worried look on her face. "We're depending on you." Unknown space. Not far from the battle there was another separatist fleet. This fleet belonged to none other than to our favorite Sith, currently in his new ship that he had built not long ago. The ship was a modified Belbullab 22 starfighter, a fast and agile prong-shaped vessel produced by fier scalable assemblies. It had a powerful arsenal consisting of 2 sets of triple rapid-fire laser cannons. The starfighter was easily able to match the Porax 38 starfighter for speed, as it was fitted with twin ion drives and an extremely powerful hyperdrive. That's where Naruto had got a bit out of control with the modifications. He'd made space for a pair of bigger ion drivers and added another 2 so that he would be able to outrun just about anyone. Of course he'd blown himself up a couple, well, more than just a couple of times, but he'd finally got it right. Because of the new power, he'd had to change the thrusters so that they would survive the increased demands of speed. He then put in a compartment for his R3 astromech droid that he'd finally repaired after Grievous had broken it. He also changed the cockpit so that he could use the Umbran one, because it was more straightforward and allowed more maneuverability than a normal starfighter would have. As he was flying around his fleet, R3 started to make beeping noises. Naruto looked at his droid and listened to what it had to say. Well then, if the Count wants to speak with me, let him through, and don't worry, I won't let them make you go on another spying mission." As he said this, an image appeared on his monitor, and when it cleared, it was the scowling face of Count Dooku. "Hello, Master, what can I do for you today?" Naruto said in a calm voice. Dooku's frown at his apprentice's behavior deepened. "There is currently a battle taking place not far from you. It is almost complete, and victory is assured, but I want you to go there too. Lend a hand." When Dooku finished the description of his task, Naruto gained a deadpan look. "You're just punishing me for not coming to save you from those pirates that took you captive." Dooku smirked. "That has nothing to do with it. I am simply doing what is best for the Separatist Alliance," he said, sarcasm dripping off every word. Naruto's eyebrows started to twitch as he spoke. "Very well, Master, it shall be done." Dooku smiled at his apprentice, and the connection was cut off. Naruto got his anger under control and looked at R3 again. "Okay, buddy, plot a course for the battle, and let's see what we got." R3 made a couple of whistling noises before the hyperdrive activated, and they disappeared into space. Battle site. Anakin and his Padawan had finally arrived, and were preparing to aid their fellow Jedi. "Prepare the gunships," Anakin yelled. As they were preparing, the droid in charge was giving out orders of its own. "We have them now. Send in the super droids." With that, the rocket droids started to jump out of the cruiser, and trying to board the enemy ship. At the same time, the Republic rescue team was also trying to get in. "Those droids are boarding Ayla's ship," spoke Anakin as he saw the droids on the hull of the ship. As they were nearing the ship, one of the rocket droids flew onto the gunship that was carrying Anakin and Ahsoka. It attacked the pilot by tearing off the window of the cockpit and grabbing him with a mechanical arm. Just as Anakin was about to speak, something flew by them and shook the gunship hard. When they looked at what had almost hit them, they saw a bigger, red and black version of Grievous's ship, heavily modified from the stock model. Anakin used a pair of binoculars, looked into the cockpit and saw the Sith apprentice of Count Dooku smiling at him. Suddenly, the apprentice made a sharp turn and went directly for one of the gunships. He fired a torpedo and destroyed the target in a burst of flame, it while heading straight for Ayla's ship. Once he was near enough, he disengaged his control of the fighter and gave it over to R3. "R3, get my ship out of here. I did not almost blow myself up that many times just to see it get destroyed in its first battle." With those final words, he jumped off the ship and free fell towards the hole at the Republic cruiser's hull. He landed in a corridor lit by red emergency lights, and started to run through the hallways and cutting down any clone that got in his way. He stopped at an intersection where he came face to face with a beautiful blue-skinned Twi'lek woman that was currently pointing a lightsaber at him. "Wait, what? Damn it. Why are all the good-looking ones always the ones that are trying to kill me?" Ayla looked at her adversary with a mix of confusion and flattery. Am I to assume that your name is Naruto Uzumaki?" she asked. "Yes, that would be me, but I do not know the name of my beautiful opponent. Stupid. Stop flirting with he or she's your enemy. Damn it all to hell with my attraction to Twi'lek women. My name is Ayla Secla, Jedi Knight of the Republic, she responded, thinking, is he flirting with me? Such a lovely name for such a lovely woman. Shut up before I get myself killed by an angry woman, never mind that she's a Jedi. But look at that body and those. No. Bad Naruto, bad. Ayla's cheek started to darken a bit, but luckily, nobody noticed. Thank you for the compliment, now could you surrender so that I may try to save this ship? As much as I would like to spend more time with such a beauty as you, I must regretfully decline. As for the ship, well, from what I saw on the outside it won't last very long, and it will only take a couple of good shots from the other ship to take it down completely. Also, even if you do somehow manage to survive this encounter, you would be stranded on the planet below, as the ship's hull would not survive the jump to hyperspace, and you could not call for help because they destroyed your communication tower when I arrived. Ayla was surprised by how much the Sith knew about machines. But I guess you're safe for the moment, Naruto continued, as there are still droids on board, and they won't attack unless it's a tactical droid who is built to secure a victory at any cost. Just as he said that, the ship shook violently. Eshita, I just had to go and screw it up with my luck again. He looked at Ayla. Yeah, we better run. We can fight later. I agree with that plan. With that, they all started to run for their lives. As they were running, Ayla looked at her temporary ally. So where are we going now, Sith? When I jumped out of hyperspace, I saw a Republic transport ship preparing to land. If we get to that hatch, we're home free. As he said that, there was an explosion behind them, and it would have killed everyone had it not been for Naruto using the Force to protect Ayla, her commander, and himself. But he did not get out of it without a scratch. While shielding them from the explosion, a piece of shrapnel went fly towards him, and because he was still concentrating on the fire, it slipped by his shield and lodged itself in his left shoulder. He screamed and almost lost control of the shield, but regained control quickly. When the explosion subsided, Naruto fell to his knees and grabbed his bleeding shoulder. Ayla, being the Jedi that she was, kneeled down to his level. You're hurt, can you walk? She asked. Yeah, I think I can, just help me get up, said Naruto as he stretched his hand out towards her. Ayla took his hand without hesitation. At that point, Anakin, Ahsoka, and Capitan Rex reached their location. When they saw the Sith, they all pointed their weapons at him and prepared to attack. Stop, Ayla said. He is on our side for the time being, and he got hurt protecting us from the explosion. The rescue team lowered their weapons, but were still cautious around the Sith apprentice. Anakin then spoke. We need to get out of here and get to the ship that is docking right now. With that, they ran for the docking bay. They had just successfully connected the ship to the docking bay and were about to board when a gigantic explosion went off. Anakin saw this, glanced back at his comrades that were still boarding the ship, and he used force push make them go in faster. Then he slammed the door shut after them. He turned to the fire that was racing towards them, but he also saw the Sith was leaning against the wall next to him, and seemed to be on his last leg. Anakin was fully prepared to try and stop the flames, but was surprised when a force shield appeared around him, letting him to focus only on the flames ahead. As he stood there stopping the flames, he saw that the blast doors were closing, but before they could shut the blast wave out completely, there was one last big explosion that sent both Anakin and Naruto flying against the wall. Anakin hit his head and was knocked out with some broken bones and small burns. Naruto had managed to stay conscious even though he had broken ribs, a deep gash in his shoulder, and was bleeding from the forehead. He used what power he had left to open the doors that led to the ship, but he lost consciousness before they could be opened fully. The last thing he saw was a blue blur in front of him before it all faded into darkness. Some time later, Maradon. Naruto awoke to bright light shining in his face. When he awoke, he came face to face with a strange raccoon-like creature. Naruto's instincts kicked in and used the Force to start talking to strange creature. Who are you? Where am I? Where are the Jedi? He demanded. My name is. Ugh. Wag. Gag. 2. Hack. I was the one that heal. Gag. Ed. You. Naruto released him. Sorry about that, my instincts kicked in. I thank you for your help. It's alright, I'm a healer, after all, and that is my job. You can thank your friends for bringing you here, the strange creature said. I will be sure to thank them when I see them. Now, if you will excuse me, I will go find my companions also. Do you by any chance know where my lightsaber may be? I think Blueskin Twi'lek has it, but you should really rest. Your injuries are not yet healed. Naruto ignored his protests about getting up and rose to his feet. He looked around for his armor, but found it destroyed, along with his shirt. He decided to leave the tent with just his bottom robes. When he came out, he saw the clone commander that he'd saved standing next to a large pod house. When he came near him, the clone spotted him and pointed his blaster at him. "While easy there," Naruto said. "I'm not here to fight, and besides, you shouldn't point a gun at someone that can kill you without even moving a muscle." The clone then lowered his weapon. "What do you want, Sith? Are you here for your weapon or something?" "Actually, I would like my weapon back. Thank you, but first I would like your name and the condition of the group." "My name is Commander Blee, and the condition of the group is that there are only 6 of us left, and General Skywalker is still hurt pretty badly but should pull through." "Okay then, if he is still hurt, let me see him for a minute, and you can all be there to point your guns and sword at my head while I work." With that, he simply walked into the pod. Inside, he saw all 3 Jedi talking to each other quietly. When they saw him, everything fell silent. "How are you feeling, Skywalker?" Naruto asked. In response, he got a snarl from both Ahsoka and Anakin himself. Ayla, being the only rational one, answered for the wounded general. "He is still too weak for any kind of fast-paced travel, and he will have to rest for at least a day before he is able to even walk." "Then how about we fix that?" Naruto said. Before anyone could stop him, both of his hands started to glow green, and the energy flowed from them towards Anakin. Ahsoka was about to attack, but Ayla stopped her. The Padawan looked at her, but she only pointed at Skywalker, whose wounds were closing, even the bruises beginning to fade away.